We are live. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Positive Influencers. Let's talk about it. I am your host, the talent, Camaron Martin, and today is a special treat. It is a double feature day. That's right, a double feature day, which means we have two guests and two episodes on this Tuesday, I guess morning and afternoon. Yeah, guys. So thank you so much. I'm still so happy and stoked that you guys are. The support you guys have been giving me, especially after posting that I was returning with the show, which I think is pretty cool. And so thank you for that. I think our first episode with Daniel Alexandro or Daniel Alexandro was a success. Everyone liked it. They were pretty much into it. Now today, we have a special guest. He is Sugar Caine Carter. Like I said, guys, before, if you guys are not supporting independent wrestling, you are a wrestling fan, you are missing out. I think independent wrestling is very important to go see and also join and also support our local independent wrestlers. Anyways, our guest today is Sugar Caine Carter, which I'm extremely happy to have. He's somebody I met back in, I want to say 2024 at Roadrunners. God, what was the paper? At Roadrunners, I believe. It was interesting. They had like wrestling and rap put together in one. So I met Caine Carter there. Why have him on the show? I think Caine Carter actually brings a lot of positivity in the world. Even though people aren't perfect, we have our issues, we have our negativities, our negative mindset sometimes, but sometimes our positivity gets us through that. I think he's such a great storyteller in the ring, and me being an actor, it's harder for me now to go to wrestling shows or even indie shows because I tend to like put the acting mode on instead of like just being a fan. I can't even be a fan anymore. But when Caine Carter comes out and performs, it's like I'm watching a film. It's just like Daniel and every other wrestler I'm talking about. It's like I'm watching a movie and I'm watching a TV screen, and he brings it to life. He brings a TV screen or the TV show to life in the world, which I think is amazing. And also the way he loves his fans and the way he gives love to the people that are there, even if they don't know him. Overall, great guy. And I love his energy, and which is why he's on the show today. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and welcome Sugar Caine Carter. Not on the show because he's just too sweet. He is the 2004 Hot Pro Wrestling Wrestler of the Year, and oh shoot, I can't get him on. Sorry guys, distracted. But anyways, go ahead and let's welcome Caine Carter to the show. He's being live. God, it's like then there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Also, if you guys want to get it, I don't know if y'all can see it. We'll give you that link later. What's up, man? How's it going? Thank you so much for being here today, this early morning.
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the introduction and all the good words. Makes me feel well.
Yeah, man. You should. So let's get started, bro. So we already know your history, kind of your history and like your love for wrestling. And I know you've talked about it before. For people who don't know, what really got you into wrestling to the point where like, I'm going to be a wrestler? Because I know you were a skateboarder and you're into skateboarding. Mm-hmm. You're also very athletic. But what got you into? Oh, there it is. What actually got you into wrestling that makes you say, you know what, I'm going to be a wrestler, I'm going to go to training school?
I've been watching wrestling since before I can even have my first memory of anything else. As long as I've been alive, wrestling has been there. It's because my stepfather was a huge wrestling fan, as was his father, my grandfather. And my dad wasn't in the picture young. We have a on-again, off-again relationship, but my stepdad was always there. He was an active father figure. And he is the man that introduced me to professional wrestling. He would take me to live events, house shows. He would buy me the magazines, the toys, and then we would just watch wrestling growing up. And obviously he fizzled out of it, being an adult, having to work and understanding what pro wrestling is. But as a child, it just stuck with me. And it kind of left me too growing up because I have my own past. I have a checkered past, but whenever wrestling found me, I always say it was at the perfect time because it saved me. I didn't look at it as a actual career. I didn't look at it as a thing that I could actually do until I actually saw somebody that I went to high school with doing it at a um, independent level. And, I don't like to talk down or bad on anybody, but I thought, if this guy could do it, I could do it. I'm a natural athlete. And I found a school and started training and took off and never looked back.
And it's a Rhodes Academy, wasn't it?
No, 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 no. So I actually started in someone's front yard. So I'm not a backyard wrestler, I'm a front yard wrestler.
What?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Wait, are you talking
Um,
about? Okay, so when I was a kid, me and my cousins used to wrestle. We were like we were everybody. My
mhm.
generation is obviously different. I had The Rock, Stone Cold, and China, Triple H, all of them. So I don't know you because
Yeah,
I think you're a little younger than me, right? You're in your
yeah.
20s still?
28. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was not that bad. So who was
yeah.
yours growing up?
You said what?
Who were your wrestlers growing up?
Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam, and I mean, I like Cena obviously because he was just the superhero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people that I related with were Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam. Obviously, Jeff Hardy is a cultural icon, but Rob Van Dam, I feel like, was just right there with him, and doesn't get as much credit as he deserves
Mhm.
for being such an influencer. I wouldn't even say for black people, just for like people that like to stand out in general. A lot of people say that Jeff Hardy's a brother. He's in the culture. You know what I mean? I feel like Rob Van Dam is right there with him, and that was my guy too.
I love Jeff.
He's
That
amazing,
was
and it's
awesome. That was
so
awesome.
crazy. It's so crazy that I get to work beside him every month
I
now.
know.
It's
I was like, jerk. Well, when I met the Hardys,
insane.
I met the Hardys and I was extremely nervous. Like I usually don't get starstruck, but with them I did. Matt Hardy is a little more like, like hyper and stuff, and Jeff is more calmer. So when Matt was talking to me, I was just like, oh, but then Jeff had to like calm me down. I was like, oh, that's my bro right there. But anyways,
It's a weird
so
dynamic.
what's up?
I said it's a weird dynamic how they operate now
Yeah.
because you're right. Jeff is a lot more quiet now.
Yeah, so Jeffy calmed me down. So I guess that was my question? I forgot. So you said basically wrestling saved you. Like, were you just did you have a past of like were you just going through bad things, or were you doing bad things, or
Yeah,
yeah, we
yeah,
don't have to
yeah.
get into it. But I was just
No,
wondering
no.
because what's up?
It, it's a part of my story. We can get fully into it.
Let's do it.
Um,
Let's do
I
it.
am, I'm from a small, small country town in Texas. And when I was growing up, I smoked a lot of weed, and I mean, it is what it is. And being from a small town, cops don't have much better to do except looking for people that are causing trouble. And I'm from a small town where it's really quiet, not a lot goes on. So, the people that are standing out or doing other activities, they kind of tend to make a little bit more noise. And that was me as a teenager. I was making a lot of noise, just running around, just being a kid. And I was into things that could have gotten me a lot of time in jail. God blessed me. I was fortunate enough to only get in trouble for smoking. And so I have a rap sheet of being in and out of juvenile, probation, rehab, mental facilities, all up until the time I would say 19. I was
Oh
going through all
wow.
these things. Yeah, and I got my GED actually when I was in jail, so I didn't graduate high school. So I was exposed to the real world a year earlier than all my peers and all my classmates. So I was in the real world trying to find jobs and work in manual labor and construction and all this stuff, while my friends were still in high school. I was thrown into the real world. So there was a period from 19 to 21 where I was just doing whatever, just trying to figure out what life was and how to be an adult. And then around that time is whenever I said I found professional wrestling, and it gave me a lane, it gave me a reason, and it gave me something to look forward to. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are missing nowadays, especially if you're not living in the major city, if you're living in a small town where not a lot's happening, not a lot of opportunities are around. You just surviving by and what you can do to just make life easy. And that's where I feel like people lose their spark for things and passions and start to think, man, I can't do this because I need to put food on the table or whatever. I was very fortunate enough to find professional wrestling at a time where I was able to pursue it with the support system. It's taken me a lot further than what I thought that I would be in these 5 years.
Wow, dude, that I'm not saying it's crazy. I just think thank you so much for sharing that, by the way. Because I think a lot of
Absolutely.
people, I look at you, bro, and I seriously think, well, just what I guess on social media, where we allow people to see what we want them to see, and so nobody really
Hmm.
knows until you actually sit down with someone like this and hear their story. I honestly thought you were like perfect. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think most people do, but I guess that's from not knowing somebody. But do you think a lot that had a lot to do with like your dad not being in the picture or like in
Yeah.
and out?
Yeah, I feel like I was always searching for something, and I was the type of kid that I never felt like I fit in anywhere specific because I got along with everybody. I had friends that did theater, I had friends that were in band, I was an athlete, so I had other athletic friends. I had friends that weren't in athletics and didn't play any sports at all. I was a skateboarder, so I had like weird quirks. Like I liked rock music, so I had friends that were in the rock emo scene. Like I had friends everywhere. So for me, I felt like I could be everywhere, but I didn't belong anywhere specific.
Mhm.
I would go to these different niches, but they wouldn't fully accept me in as one of them because if I was with the band people, they were like, "Oh, you got jock friends," or if I was with the jock people, they were like, "Oh, you got emo friends," and it like that didn't
Oh,
help
we
either.
went. I feel like
That
no,
didn't.
I say that because I was the same way. I always wanted to be emo, and they never let me. They didn't. That wasn't allowed to be emo. Like the emo kids didn't like me like that. They were cool with me.
Well,
And,
yeah.
and I, what's up?
Well, I was gonna say I remember like I would have the headphones in and I would be listening to rock music and like obviously I would be listening to it so loud that the next person over could hear me. And I remember getting all types of weird looks for the music that I would listen to and like and even by my friends, they'd be like, "Why are you listening to that?" Or I'd wear a shirt and they'd be like, "What do you even know what that shirt is?" It I went through all the same stuff too, man.
That's crazy, dude. So were you a popular kid or no? I guess popular to everyone
Not
in
really.
the
I
little
mean,
group. No,
I was known. I just wasn't popular. Like I said, I wasn't fully accepted
got
into
it.
any of these groups. So like I had my core group of friends um, that I knew that we were locked in no matter what. But I mean, my other friends had better friends than me. Like I was never anybody's best friend. You know what I mean?
Ah,
Like
yeah. I got my best friends after high school, which is kind of weird.
yeah, yeah. I've met some of the best people I know in wrestling. So a
Yeah.
lot of whenever I started wrestling, a lot of my friends that I grew up with that I considered my best friends, were laughing at me, and so uh, it quickly weeds out, who is your true friend or supporter and who's not. Whenever you start to do things that are like really far left and versus things that people just think are cool.
Mhm. Well, I brought that up with the whole dad situation because my dad was never in the picture either, and wrestling. I tell a lot of people wrestling kind of saved me from a lot of things. I was more of a loner growing up because I don't know if my dad not being in the picture actually messed up my head enough where I was like, fuck, not really fuck the world, but I was just kind of like, I don't want to do anything. I want to talk to you. I was not social at all. Like the way I'm not, I was not like that younger. And I would watch
Right.
wrestling and it got me out of it. And then when somebody would talk about wrestling, I would jump in the conversation, or I would like wrestle with my cousins, on the trampoline or the bounce house. Um,
Hmm.
but now having a relationship with my dad, I think I don't think it helped it, but I think it just that like I forgave myself for like feeling like that because I never
Yeah,
really
yeah,
hated
yeah.
him. I just didn't really care if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. I've had to try to forgive myself for some things I thought about my father also. And I mean, and as well as other family members, growing up, we don't get a manuscript on how to live this life or how to treat people or how to filter through our emotions. And
Mhm.
growing up, we end up growing up from children to adults also. So there's this dichotomy with your parents where, they have to respect you as an adult and you also have to respect them as your parent, but you can't let them walk all over you. You know what I mean? So mending these relationships has taught me a lot too on how to forgive myself for things that I've thought, and forgive others, and not to be so harsh because, they're learning just as much as we are.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what I thought about my dad. I told him the same thing because he still apologizes, David. I'm like, dude, like I care, but I don't really care. A long time ago, I don't know what you were going through. You were young, but I guess
Yeah,
moving forward past that, taking your first bump, how was that?
it was. I'm really humble and I don't like to brag. I was doing lion salts, so backflips off the middle rope on my first day. Um,
Oh wow.
I took to it very naturally. Bumping was easy. We did the whole layers to a bump because anybody that's been trained, you can't just tell them get out there and take a bump. You gotta ease them into it. So there's layers on how to do it, techniques and whatnot. Bumping was easy. Running the ropes was easy. Like I said, I was advancing well enough to take moves. I was 50 pounds lighter, so I was like a buck 60, a buck 50 at the time. So they weren't really telling me, get out there and pick these guys up, give them bumps. But I was taking them, and I mean, it was easy. I progressed really well, and I got sore, yes, but it was. Some people don't like it. I loved it.
Okay,
I
that's what I really wanted to ask. Because you lucky or you don't. But it looks like we have Daniel Alexandro, who's I think calling you out there, buddy.
Hey, bro, we both run with the same people. We need to get Roadrunner to book it, bro. I don't care if we got to duke it out and shake hands afterwards. If we need to throw some blows, we can do it, bro. You've been on the list for a long time. What's up, bro? Good to see you.
Well, that's crazy. So obviously you loved I guess you took the bump and you loved it.
Hmm.
And did that help you like motivate to keep going more? Because I know some people. I know I took mine. I was like, what the hell? I was like, what's like? I thought I did it. Like they were so impressed, but they were like, because I was bigger then. I was like 395 pounds, the heavier
Hmm.
than I am now.
Hmm.
And so they were like shocked that I did it, and I thought I got in trouble. I was like, what did I do? And they're like, no, that was good. I was like, oh, so I do it again. So I think after like the 50th time that I've done it, I was like, okay, now it's just starting to fucking hurt. Fuck that. And then it was like
Yeah.
the arm drag. The arm drags what really fucked up my shoulder. But then I think
Mm.
I stopped after that. So for you, you loved it, right? So that made you continue doing it more. How did your family, I guess, well, your family and friends react to you wrestling now?
Everybody was shocked, and I had a big support system, but a lot of people didn't tell me this until later on when I got a little bit more recognition. Um, a lot of people looked at me and was like, yeah, he's not gonna go anywhere. Like, and truly, like I had people that are huge supporters of me now, even family members, that would tell me, hey, I didn't think you was gonna make it. You was a little string bean. You was 150 pounds. Um, and they watched my progress, and it's all turned to support now. I have
Mhm.
nothing but support. I don't think I have anybody wishing on my downfall. Um, Nah, I say that, but I got a couple haters, but they're not even worth speaking on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, for sure. But everything that was critique at the beginning turned to support. So it was just a testament of me proving everybody wrong, believing in myself, and working behind the scenes in comparison to what I show people on social media. There's been a lot of work done behind the scenes, a lot of grind, a lot of long nights. Even to this day, like I just slept in my car this past weekend. Like the grind doesn't stop if you love what you do. And I'm an adventurous person, so uh, you know, why not take these risks and these chances, especially if I do have the support system and all these people
Mhm.
now believing in me.
Yes, sir. And that was another topic I was going to get into because, obviously we and you are in different industries, but kind of work ethic is the same.
Hmm.
The travel life. I don't think
Yeah.
people understand the travel and how hard that is to like manage and also manage your energy and your life around it. So me, I know FIFA right now is kicking my ass because I'm literally going to all all our DFW and now San Antonio, Houston coming up. How
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
do it overnight? Because I know you wrestle, you chat with the fans, you wait till all that's done, and then you go to the next city.
Yeah, that's really the hardest part is managing, giving everybody time, and a piece of me, and then going and traveling late afterwards. Like I said, there's times where you sleep in your car. There's times where you just bite the bullet and you take your fee and you buy a hotel room or an Airbnb. There's times where you can pre-book something and it works out financially well. It depends on what you do outside of wrestling. Um, to financially support your dreams. A lot of people are slowly on business, so it works different for everybody. But I abuse caffeine. I
With
yeah,
me.
yeah. I feel like that's just a natural. I feel like if they make a wrestler's manuscript or a wrestler's handbook, one of the first things that should be in there is get used to abusing caffeine because
Mhm.
it will be your best friend and probably your worst downfall. Uh, but I mean, you gotta love it, honestly. If you can't, and I've been the type of person where I don't ask for a lot of things. So I'm not asking for help on booking a room, or I'm not asking. I've recently started to ask to hop in cars with people, but the way I am personally, I tend to myself. I have my own things that I like. I don't like my habits and my peace being interrupted.
Oh my God, we
So
are twins.
we have to
I think
be.
that's everybody.
Yeah. And so wrestling forces you to be a people person. So much so that whenever I travel, I have blatantly used this time to be alone. And it's almost been to a fault because there's been a lot of places and markets that I've missed out on because I just simply cannot travel there by myself. But I'm breaking that mold. I'm hopping in cars with people now. I'm asking, for other types of support. I just had a promoter find out that I slept in my car over the weekend, and he got on me from the time he found out to the end of the show. Don't sleep in your car. Don't sleep in your car. If you need something, we'll buy you a hotel. I'm just not the type of person to ask. So
Yeah.
um, it's a grind, and I've learned to love it. It puts me in peculiar places, puts me in peculiar situations, and it breaks the structure of life that I try to keep, which I feel like is almost necessary. If you find yourself in repetitive patterns and stuff like that, you start to get bored, then you start to slack, and then you start to lose the love of what you're involved in overall. But if you throw something in there that'll surprise you or take you for a left turn, then it keeps you on your toes. And I feel like for me as a person, that's what I need. Some people they need that structure, but for me, being on the road, it gives me that lane to be free and experience the world. And a lot of people use it as a lot of people take it as like a hassle, and it does suck, traveling airport days, because that's what I'm doing a lot of too is flying now with TNA. Um,
Get them points.
yeah. So I took about 4 or 5 flights without signing up for them rewards programs, and I looked at my account and I was like, oh, I have nothing. Yeah, let me fix that real quick. Um, yeah, so travel days are hard, but you got to learn to love them if it is a requirement of whatever industry you're in, wrestling, media, acting, marketing, anything.
You love flying?
I do actually. I say that I'm a loner, but I'm an introverted extrovert. So like
Yes.
I
Same.
can be amongst a lot of people and I don't feel like spending a lot of alone time for me is healthy. So being around a lot of people gives me that fix that I need. So airports, I'm comfortable in. Planes, I'm comfortable in. You know, it gets me out and about, but the airport is kind of a place where like you can kind of be social, but you kind of don't. You kind of don't. You know what I mean? You can get
Yeah,
the
I
best
love
book.
it.
Yeah, you can choose to be social because there's so many walks of life to talk to, or you can choose to just be by yourself.
I just think it's cool. You're just going through it, the whole process of it, and like you are friendly with some people, but you're all there for the same reason. You're all complaining about the same thing. I want to share
Oh man, I have
that.
seen some people blow a gasket in the airport, and I've missed a flight myself. And I've been to the point where I've been there, but I can hold myself. So some
Oh,
people in the airports they cannot.
so are you? So me, I'm. People get mad at me, but I'm a little negative when I'm on the flight. Not, I say negative, but it's negative for people, but not negative for me.
Hmm.
I think it's the actor in me or something, but I literally get on the plane. I'm like on the flight, and I'm like, as it's going up, I'm like, oh, here comes the fire. It's gonna explode in my face. I don't know why I do that, but then I fall
Um,
asleep. I don't know why, but I feel like
you're
the
an
day
anxious
that
fly.
I don't do that, it's gonna be bad. But I don't
Yeah.
say. I obviously don't tell. Well, this is the first time I'm sharing it, but besides my family knows. But they're like, oh, you're so fucking negative. You always talk about death. I'm like, I'm not talking about it. I just think it's kind of cool. Like, what if it happens? So what do you do? But it's not a negative thought. I just think it's like a guilty pleasure of mine, like a security blanket, just to put myself in an action mood. Do you do the same thing, or do you just like chill?
No.
I don't even
No.
obviously think about that, but like,
Uh,
what do you do?
no.
Because like, I think that feels good, like flying, especially when we're going down.
Hmm.
I don't think about it exploding, but I feel like it's like a little. I feel like I'm flying and I'm landing on the ground.
I try to sleep most of the flights, and I try not to imagine it going down. I went through that on my first flight, and then I realized statistically, plane crashes are less likely to happen than shark attacks.
Hmm.
So I've gotten really, really comfortable on the plane. I don't think about it going down or like I do think about those people that sit at the emergency exits and how they're obligated and responsible to help everybody off the plane if that's their seat. I like to look at these people and think, yeah, you say that you're going to help everybody, but if the plane starts going down, are you really going to help people?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Well, like I don't necessarily think about it going down. I just think of like this is kind of cool. I just feel like I'm more in control of it. But I know I normally pass out when it goes up. I don't
yeah,
know
I'm a
why.
sleeper.
It happens every time. Like as soon as it
Yeah,
flies up, I'm out.
I'm a sleeper too.
And then it goes down. I get pissed off as I get woken up. But I sit in
I
the aisle.
I just hate that I don't have a neck pillow yet, which I need one. And I fly a lot of American and Delta. I don't know if these other airlines have it, but they have the headrest now with the kind of pillow that folds
You
and
like
it
it?
kind of no.
I
No, I have too
got a
much
pillow finally, and that shit. I will tell you, that shit is it works. Because I slept like a baby. This is my last flight.
well, I the closest Walmart that I have is the next town over, and they don't sell them at like just random grocery stores here. And then every time I go to a airport, they try to sell them for like $40. I'm not buying a
Mm.
neck pillow for $40. Everything is so expensive in airport.
You're in Waco,
Um,
right? Or near
no, so
Waco?
I'm near Waco. If you go down 35 at the newest Bucky's that's in Hillsboro, you take that exit. I'm the next town over. It's called Whitney, Lake
Yes.
Whitney. I'm 45 minutes from Waco, but uh, we have a Walmart in that Hillsboro where Bucky's is.
I was gonna say if you're when you go to a Love's gas station, get it there.
Mhm. They're cheap.
$20 or 15.
Beautiful.
But they're
Beautiful.
for truck drivers. So you know that shit's
Mhm.
comfortable.
Yeah,
Imagine a
okay.
plane. Imagine a
That's a,
plane.
that's a good
As a
hack.
matter of
Thank
fact, I'll
you.
give you a gift card.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
So well, I guess I'll ask that question next. I want to ask this. I want to ask you. I want you to be the first and an indie wrestler I ask because obviously this podcast got more fun because I got into wrestling and it's about my experience with wrestling and like how I got into it, working for WWE and all that crap.
Hmm.
So now I'm very outgoing when it comes to people because I think in the field that I'm in,
Hmm.
but a lot of indie wrestlers aren't comfortable with talking with people.
Hmm.
Why is that?
Uh, I feel like I feel like a lot of people use wrestling as an outlet to grab onto something that they couldn't as a child. Um, Everybody has outlets, whether it's alcohol, drugs, caffeine, the gym, sex, and professional wrestling.
Mm.
Everybody has an outlet, and to strive in this business, you do got to kind of be a people person. You got to rub shoulders, and you got to talk to people, um, whether it be to gain traction in your career or the fans, a part of the show. I feel like a lot of people use professional wrestling as an outlet without um, honing in on these certain things that you need for professional wrestling, such as talking to people. I've seen people who, were completely silent, nerdy, uh, didn't have no friends as a kid, come into professional wrestling and use it as their outlet, and that translate. You know, they don't have a history of talking to people. They don't have a history of sharing their emotions or telling people how they feel or trying to make other people feel something.
Mm.
Um, it's just overlooked. You know what I mean? And people can use drugs, alcohol, sex, the gym, whatever as outlets where you don't have to talk to people because these are substances and or the gym is just you working internally. If you're using a outlet where you have to be external and talk to people, um, you should probably understand that first before jumping in neck deep because professional wrestling might not give you the outlet that you're looking for if you're burdened with having to talk to people and you get anxiety or fear from being social. You know what I mean? It's just things that people don't consider, and I didn't either. And it was never an outlet for me. It was always like a I love professional wrestling is what I'm going to do, but I truly didn't consider the fact that I would have to be social or talk to people or get people to feel something, and it even scared me. So people that use it for an outlet, you know, I can only imagine how intimidating it is. But, you know, people learn, people grow, and they'll either get with it or not.
So did you have acting experience before wrestling, or were you always interested in acting, or how did that come about?
No, everyone thought, I, and this is, again, I'm humble, right? But this is my truth. People thought I should have been a model growing up. So I got told from a very young age, and my mom was my best friend growing up, and I have a lot of female cousins, and I have a lot of aunts, and so I had a lot of female influence in my life growing up. And they always told me, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You know, go. You should be a model. You should try modeling. You know, you should take some headshots or whatever." And
Agreed.
um, well, thank you. And I still want to do that. That's still a market that I want to tap into.
I got you. No, just kidding.
No,
Just kidding.
I'm serious. I
I
need.
am too. I know a lot of people that can hook you over there. Mind you, bro, you have the best hair in the indie scene, I will say.
Thank you. Thank you. And
My
listen to
friend
me.
Dee Dee hates you for it. She's like, man,
Listen to me right now. I can't tell you how many times I've come this close to just whacking this all off.
no.
It's become my identity, but in everyday life, it takes a lot to maintain. You see how it's kind of lopsided on this side, and these are hanging down, and these aren't? It's irritating me. Like I don't know if you can tell, but I keep like switching my head angles
No.
because it's fucking with me.
Yeah, so it's pretty bad as
But
everyone paints on it. So how does Sugar Cane Carter come to life?
oh, I battled with trying to find a gimmick forever. I wanted I wanted to be like a Don, like a Italian mob boss type guy, where I was suited up all the time and I would do a whole bunch of vignettes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I would be very vignette and footage heavy, but then that I realized like I would have to talk a lot, you know, and you know, I was like, it's not really my thing. I'm not even Italian. You know what I mean? No, what was I
You
thinking?
could be.
I could have been like a Frank Lucas American gangster type mob boss, but without the drugs.
Homie went a
Um,
lot. Homie's been tending a lot. This is
hey, but then realizing what I actually portrayed in the ring, I portrayed someone who was fundamentally sound, someone who could just tell a good story, like you said, you know, that used professional wrestling at its core to the best ability. So Um, I started calling myself 5 Star Caine Carter for a little bit. And then I don't know how, why, when, or where I even thought about it, but Sugar popped in my head. And the first person I thought of was Sugar Ray Leonard, the boxer.
Mhm.
Um, and then I think Sugar Ray Robinson was one also. I'm not sure. One of those two. And so I just started thinking sugar cane, it flows well. And then I was like, oh, cane sugar is a real thing. I was like, that just flows perfectly. Okay, whatever. I could start saying that I'm sweet in the ring, you know, okay, sweet, sugar. cool, whatever.
Damn.
Oh, Too Sweet is a major thing in wrestling. It just gave me a direct lane to start marketing myself, and that's what I was told in the business. You have to build yourself as a brand.
Yes.
So Kane Carter could only take me so far. But if I have a brand, something that I could put a logo to, a quote to, that's where my quote switch to the sweet comes from. That actually comes from my favorite horror movie, Candyman. And Candyman, the director of that movie, got it from
The new
William
one or the
Shakespeare,
original?
the original, the
Let
OG.
that out there, guys.
Yeah, OG Candyman. And that director got it from William Shakespeare's Hamlet. So
Oh, no
my
shit.
my switch to the sweet quote is Hamlet. It's it's Shakespeare. It's weird. And
Oh.
I'm not even a Shakespeare kind of guy, but I want to go and watch the play live to give it its due diligence, and if I'm using the quote, I should probably go, look at it. Candyman's my favorite, but learning that they got it from Shakespeare was just it was awesome. So, I market that quote. I branded myself as Sugar. I do the Too Sweet thing, and everybody knows this. I can do this to people all day long, and they know exactly what it is. And so, you obviously had the NWO doing it, and that was a faction. And then you had the Bullet Club doing it as a new age thing, and that was a faction. And now I am doing it as an independent indie wrestler. And I know at some point someone's probably going to tell me, you can't do that on the big stage. That's NWO, that's Bullet Club, da da da. But I feel like I'm so far out of the spectrum with Sugar and Sweet and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm in my own lane with it. You know what I mean?
Not if you do this. Do it twice.
But
Damn,
I talked to somebody. I'm not going to say who, but I talked to somebody at TNA about it. Who is a vet. He's been around in the game forever. And he said, take it and run with it. He said it is different. He said it is your own lane. It is your own thing, and you're not directly ripping them off. You found a way to make it yours, and that's really what any business is about. If you're in the clothing industry, you can't make up a new piece of clothing.
Mhm.
Every piece of clothing has already been made, but you can
It's like
make
my
your own
brand.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can make your own shirt, or you can make your own jewelry, or you can just make it yours, and that's exactly what I've done.
Hmm. And also, too, if they have a problem with it, too, you're bringing revenue to them, kind of like bringing it back. Who started? They make the, that people look them up, like, oh shit, they did it. And I just think it's all the same thing. It's like like you're paying homage to them. But
Yeah, yeah, honestly.
I brought up the acting thing because your storytelling is amazing. I even told Daniels, a lot of you guys, you Rocco, a lot guys, like I said, if you're a wrestling fan and you're only into AEW, WWE, TNA, if you do not go to indie wrestling shows, you're missing out because the storytelling's sometimes 10 times better there than any big platform TV show like that. But your storytelling is amazing. Facial expressions, like I said, I feel like I'm watching you on TV, but I'm there in real life. It
Thank
doesn't
you,
matter where I
thank you.
sit. And thank you, by the way, for accepting my weirdness and not trying to be a creep or anything. I just really fascinated with every performance that you do. Or actually all the wrestlers, not just you, but the show in general is amazing, especially at Wrestle World, which I'm addicted to. It sucks that I haven't been able to get there just because of thanks FIFA that I've been working
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
haven't been able to go
Where
to
have
any
you been?
shows. I know. So how was okay? Did you win or did KJ?
Uh, KJ won.
Ah,
Uh,
oh my
he
God! Mind you guys, these are two of my favorites, by the way.
man. So he did some underhanded tactics, and let me say something about KJ. I was friends with Fuego.
Mhm.
I was friends with Fuego del Sol. I was in Fuego del Sol's entrance 2 years ago in Las Vegas whenever he lost his mask and retired. Yeah, I actually facilitated his entire entrance. It was me, Eddie Martinez, Nastigo, Zarek Camacho, and two other guys. Um, I facilitated that. I did that. I drove Fuego to his bookings, his Comic Cons. We got the Airbnb, and Sam Stackhouse. I'm friends with Sam. Um, I watched how losing the mask affected KJ. Um, and I had wrestled Fuego prior, and so I didn't know what to expect wrestling KJ, but I thought for a sliver that there would be a mutual respect because for the first 4 years in the business, I was a heel everywhere, and I ate it up, and I loved it, and I loved making people
You're an
hate
asshole
me.
too, guys.
I'm such an asshole. Depends on what city I'm in. I can make you love or hate me any way possible. And I love that stuff. So for a second, you know, knowing that KJ knows who I am, what I've done, what I've been through, and who I was as a person, I thought that maybe he might have respected me enough to have a wrestling match. But he took the easy way out. He went behind the ref's back. He gave me a low blow, and then yeah, I fell victim to the whatever bullshit move he used. It's a variation of my crossface. I was doing the crossface first, and now here comes this guy.
Oh
He
my
takes his
God.
mask off and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start doing this, but I'm gonna make it better." Screw KJ. Screw that guy.
I love both the ass. I was like, maybe it's a good thing I wasn't there because I was like, shit, who did I cheer for?
Yeah, yeah. And then I just wrestled Izzy in the quarterfinals of the Wrestle World Texas tournament
I'm gonna see
bracket.
that one too. Hopefully, I know you got it, buddy. That belt's yours.
Yeah, I unfortunately lost,
I
and
know. But it can still be there after the tournament. Who cares?
I'm
You're
going for
still gonna
that
get
belt.
it.
I'm going for. There's not a belt in wrestling that I don't
Give a point.
want, and yeah, 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 yeah.
So, how did you feel the first time hearing the sweet cheeks chants?
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was fantastic.
I
I
was
knew
like, what
from the
the fuck?
from the second I heard it, I knew that I was gonna take it and run
Oh
with
my
it. I
God.
mean, I'm gonna put that on shirts. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna
Yes.
get on Twitter and I'm gonna do that
But for
because
anyone wondering, so he's wrestling.
yeah, yeah,
All of
yeah.
a sudden, I was like, he's got sweet cheeks. And it was like all around the arena. So I was like, what the hell? Which is amazing.
So it
So,
started.
Garrett,
Hold on,
I'm
hold on,
going
hold on. It started. It started because obviously they know by now my name is Sugar Caine Carter, but I have wrestling trunks that say sugar on the butt. So it started because people were asking me, "Why do you have sugar on your butt? Why do you have sugar on your ass?" Da da da. And I said, "Because I got sweet cheeks." So I had technically started it, but I didn't know it was gonna be a thing. So
I
yeah,
know.
I may have to start using like some kind of butt gimmick where I hit him with my sweet cheeks.
Well, I think when I heard it, what's his name? Xmas Prime spanked you, and I think that started the whole chant there.
Well, no, they were chanting it before, and
Oh, I got there late.
so yeah, you got there late. They were chanting it before the match even started, and then Exodus gets me in a hammer lock where I'm face down, and he smacks it right, and I'm thinking, come on, you can't do that to me, 'cause I'm gonna play right into it. You know what I
One
mean?
more time.
One more, and the fans started chanting it, and he like broke his hold. He was like, "No, I don't want to touch his butt again. I probably shouldn't even done it the first time."
That
Yeah, yeah.
was
So
hilarious. You see, guys, you're missing out.
yeah, play little mind games on Exodus Prime. I use my sweet cheeks to the full advantage. You know,
He's a big ass dude. I've never seen him that close until I
he's
met him
tall.
that day.
Yeah, he's
I'm like,
tall.
God damn. But so speaking of peoples, let's how are you in the bond with you and your tag team partner? Because I see you guys everywhere together. Is that like a real brotherhood right there? Is y'all
Absolutely, absolutely. We're two completely different people. I will say that. And anybody that knows or can even see it, will understand. Um, I took a big brother role with Devion. For anybody knowing or that doesn't know, I'm a part of a tag team KOA with Devion Black out of North Texas, Oklahoma. Um, we were thrown together as a random tag team by a random promoter, and we clicked really well. We decided, hey, we don't have tag team partners. Let's do this thing. And we never looked back. We have a great bond, a great brotherhood. We've both grown together over the years. I learned a lot from him. He's learned a lot from me. And we've grown so much to the point where we've been put in position now, fortunately, to be coordinators for TNA. On the back end, obviously, we don't do any in-ring work. We've had TNA tryouts. They looked at us for in-ring stuff. We got critique. they said that they would like us to stick around, so they offered us employment. Uh, but the brotherhood is there, you know. We understand that we're two different people, and we bounce well off of each other. We've learned each other's um, things that we don't like. We've learned each other's ways that we do like. You know, it's I've never had a natural friendship grow organically like this between two people that never knew each other before. You know, I meet new people all the time, and these people are just in and out of my life, or they become acquaintances. I've never come across somebody that we've built a friendship that it's going to last forever. You know what I mean? We may fight, we may bicker, and we have fought, and we have bickered a lot. You know, spending time on the road and on airplanes and in cars with each other. We've had our fair share of bickers and arguments,
That's
and there's
part of
things that we
it.
you know, and you can either take that and be a child and not talk about it and not grow, or you know, you can be a man and an adult and talk about it. And there's been times where we've been on the road with TNA and bickered, you know, and we have to sit down and be like, look, bro, whatever we're going through is not more important than what we got going on in our careers. You know what I mean? And we're both so hungry that our careers come first and foremost. Friendship and careers are right there, obviously, but we know that if one breaks, you know, it's going to affect the other. So if our friendship breaks, you know, we're in TNA as a duo. We're not just Kane and Devion. Like, if we get sent packing, it's both of us. You know what I mean?
Package deal.
And you said what?
Package deal.
Package deal. Yeah. We were brought in together. We're going to leave together. You know what I mean? And so we just know that whatever we got going on it's not more important than our career and even our friendship. You know what I mean? And it's a real bond that's been grown organically. And yeah, I love the dude.
Yeah, well, seeing the recent photos of y'all together, I think the last was something in Waco. I think it was last time y'all got together.
Yeah, it was
I was like, man,
Hillsborough.
what happened? The
What do you mean?
expression on both of y'all's face, I don't know, it's both of y'all are like, I guess on the stage, and you're staring at the wrestler, or I guess y'all lost, I don't know.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that photo's so intense, like, what the fuck happened? I was like, fuck, I gotta go see the motherfuckers live.
Devion had just lost a hardcore match with Matt Locke, and I was slated to face Lou Cameron, which is Lou Cameron and Mokele are a tag team, the Kamikaze Clique. They're basically Matt Locke's lackeys, for a lack of better terms, because that's what they are. They're his lackeys. They smartened up and turned on him, so now they can go and flourish in their own right. But I still don't like those guys. What it was is Devion was in pain from his hardcore match, and I had to go wrestle in the main event, knowing that it was going to be a battle. He walked out with me during my entrance. You know, he gave me a little pep talk, gave me the hug, and that's where that photo was captured. You know, he was in my ear. He was, you know, giving me all the encouragement that a brother should. Um, Same thing I did to him during his entrance. You know, and we can fight our own battles. So he walked out, gave me my pep talk. You know, and I sent him to the back because you know I felt in my heart of hearts that you know I could take care of my own, and that's what happened, man. And that's the thing about me and Devion is we're cut from the same cloth. We're two different people, but man, we are intense. We love the battle. We love the grind. We love the ups and the downs and everything that comes with this business. And one thing about wrestling and KOA is you may not believe that wrestling's real, but you're gonna believe that me and Devion are real. Whatever we do out there, you're
That
gonna believe.
video.
Yeah.
Go check out his latest video, guys. Little pep talk in the ring. I was like, oh, I felt that. That's me, my bestie, my best homie. So when I first met you, of course, you were in a 6-man tag at I believe Roadrunners.
Okay.
And I know recently you kind of went viral for posting you wanted a match with Zilla Fatu. Now, guys, let's make that happen. Why do you want to face Zilla? Why do you want Sugar Caine Carter versus the main one, Zilla Fatu?
I don't know how far I want to go with this.
Boom. Clip it, y'all.
I feel like I can wrestle Zilla. Point blank, and I have something to prove. I feel like that I can hang with the best of them. I wrestled guys of the likes of KJ Orso. I wrestled Moose from TNA. And I've been in a 6-man tag with Zilla. and we set the house on fire. I know for a fact, and it's not just Zilla. I made a whole list. Zilla was just a standout name because Zilla's popping right now.
Yeah. Mind you,
Zilla,
he ducked the spike.
he what?
You ducked the spike.
I did duck the spike. I ended up taking it. I took the Samoan drop and the
Yeah.
spike, so he hit me with a double whammy. And if you take the Samoan drop, you could be done. If you take the spike, you could be done. If you take both back to back, oh, bro, done for, done for. But the list that I made, it was Zilla, BDE, Rich Swan, one called Manders, and somebody else. I can't remember. But these are names that I know that I can keep up with. I know that if you stick me in the ring with these guys, it's not going to be like, oh, it's one called Manders or Rich Swan or BDE versus Caine Carter. You know, like I'm going to step up and be like, all right, Rich Swan versus Caine Carter, fantastic. Caine Carter versus BDE, fantastic. Caine Carter versus Zillify 2, that's what I was looking to prove and start to put into motion with making that list is that I got advice from Matt Hardy one time, and Matt said that if you continuously find yourself leading the match or being the best guy in the ring, you need to work better people. And I say that with all humbleness. I have been on a string as of late 2024, actually all of 2024. You know, I've been the champion of promotions. I'm the HOT champion. I'm the HCW Independence champion up in Kansas. I have a duty of defending these championships and holding my position. I know that you can't grow by just remaining at the top of the mountain. At some point, you got to go find another mountain. You know what I mean? And these mountains that I need to find are the mountains of Zillify 2, BDE, Rich Swan, one called Manders. A dream match of mine is Brian Keith. I know that he comes down on the indies sometimes, but he's stuck up in AEW contracts and stuff like that. But these guys that are the guys that I know you put me in the ring with, I'm holding my own every single time. We're having match of the night, and I'm gonna be the one like that shows these people, oh shit, I came to watch Brian Keith or Zillify 2, but their opponent Caine Carter was I'm a fan now. That's the entire goal right there.
Well, guys, let's make that happen.
Yeah, take it to
Hopefully, it's gonna
promoters.
happen pretty soon.
Promoters, come on, man, y'all are slacking. I had about 3 or 4 reach out to me.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Mama Zilla, if you're watching, I'm really good for Mama. Mama Zilla, if you're watching, make it happen.
Oh, hey, Mama Zilla.
So, what's the difference between you and Caine Carter? Are they the same person? Do you bring a part of you into Caine Carter, or is it two completely different people?
I feel like what's special about Caine Carter is that Caine Carter is authentic. What you see in the ring is what you get in real life. What you get right now, this is, yes, Caine Carter, but this is also me in real life. I'm humble to a fault. I am an old soul, so I respect traditional ways. I do things the old school way. I have to post and promote myself and stuff like that, but I'm not boastful. I don't have an ego. You know, I'm the type to where it's head down, nose to the grindstone, put in the work, and the work speaks for itself. I feel like Sugar has given me a lane to be more outspoken and exuberant, and I feel like that's something that I've also needed in my personal life, so it's helping me a lot. But no, I feel like a part of what's so organic about me and why I can touch so many people is that I'm not playing a character. It's not a facade. Wrestling is all I have. I don't have a college degree or a background in anything. Like I said, I got my GED when I was in jail. When I found wrestling, I had no direction. I was working in construction, and I didn't want that to be my real life. You know, it's all I got.
Oh my God, you didn't hear your shit. Sorry.
But that's real life. That's real life. That's why I feel like I resonate with people so well, is because they can tell authenticity versus someone who's not. And there's, you know, wrestling is pomp and circumstance, it's pageantry, and it's a lot of unauthentic people. And I like to be the authentic person amongst non-authentic people.
Yeah, man, and you know, I agree with you 100% how you are. And honestly, another reason why I want to have you on the show, really want to thank you so much, because you gave me some words that stuck with me that are in my head. They're stuck in there. So you guys, I've been wanting to be a wrestler. No, acting's acting, but wrestling's different. I want to do everything, and I was like, man, I'm too old. I'm too this, and I got a lot of negative feedback from the world. But Sugar Caine Carter is the first person to say, fuck everybody, do what you got to do, and do it. And that stuck in my head, and I think that's why I kind of like, yes, I'm a fan of him, but also love him as a person, just for that, because not everyone else, even people I met in WWE, oh, you're too old. Oh no, if you haven't done it at this time, then you can't do it. And then running into Rico and him telling me he started at 38, I was like, oh shit, I could still do it. So I want to just say thank you so much for that, because you're actually one of the first people who just, even without knowing me, knowing my history, knowing anything about me, said just do it, fuck it. You need to just do it, forget what everyone else says. So thank you so much for that. And also thank you for all the stuff that you put out there and everything you put out in that ring. I know, and for sharing your story today and everything that, people that don't know you outside of your family or friends or your circle or in the ring. So thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anything that you want to give to the people? Your last words, any words of advice, anything you would like, your final word?
Well, I'll address the people in a second, but from me to you, thank you for telling me that. I tend to give a lot of people, the positive reaffirmations that they need. And so it sometimes slips, out of my mind of what I tell people, but knowing that I could affect you in that way, thank you for letting me know that, that just reassures that all the positivity that I do doesn't go unnoticed. And it makes me want to do more of that. So thank you for reminding me of something that I've done for you. Because as men, we need to hear that. So thank you very much. As far as the last messages, man, it's the same thing I told you. I'm going to tell to everybody, regardless of what industry you're in, what you want to do, it's never too late. Um, and DDP started, right before he turned 40 and was a world champion. It's never too late to start anything. If you can think it, you can achieve it. The hardest part is getting started. Once you get into a rhythm and a roll and you start getting some steam, it makes things easier. But the true appreciation for what you do is in the grind. Everybody thinks about the destination. Well, what happens when you get to that destination? You think you're done, or you start looking for what's next. So appreciate the journey, appreciate where you are in life right now. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Stay positive. I don't know, man. I that's the kind of person, anything that I say, it's going to be the most positive, uplifting thing, because there's so much negativity in the world right now. I just want to be that beacon of light and hope for anybody. So yeah, that's my message. And if anybody feels like they need some encouraging words or somebody to reach out to, and you feel like you don't have anybody to reach out to, or you think that maybe, oh, he's not going to see my message or whatever, I will take the time to respond and to talk to you. Don't ever think that you're alone. Don't ever fight battles alone. You have resources. Lean on people. And go for your dreams, man. Life is too short and you only get one. Don't know what you believe in. Don't care what you believe in. I accept everybody from all walks of life. But as far as this physical life on earth, you only get one. Don't waste it. Do not waste it. It's a beautiful life. There's so much out there. I live in a small country town where not a lot of opportunity, like I said, and things are kind of bleak. We have a lake. That's it. It's popping during the summer. Winter kind of sucks. And people are kind of miserable down here where I'm from, and they don't enjoy life, and they live vicariously through me. And I tell people all the time, man, like, just get up and go do something. Go. Life, the world is out there to take. So just take it. Just grab it by the neck and take it. And the Sugar Caine Carter told me so.
Well, guys, if you don't believe him, go ahead and look at his gym photos from the past to now and the work process that he just did and to transform his body. It's amazing. Sugar Caine Carter, I just want to thank you so much. The talent for you. Thank you so much for being on Positive Influencers. I can't wait to see what you do next. And I already know probably the next few years you're going to be up further than what you are, buddy. Thank you so much, and God bless, and thank you for everything.
I really appreciate your time. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to being back on. So we'll do this again.
Part 2. All right, guys, thank you so much. That's Positive Influencers, and check us out. Like us on YouTube. Oh, yeah, duh. Where can they find Sugar Caine Carter?
Instagram, Twitter, or not Twitter, Instagram, X, and TikTok. It's Caine Carter _ Caine with a C, Caine. Facebook is just Caine Carter. I have a link to my website in my bio,
Boom.
sugarcane.bigcartel. Yeah, you can go get you some merch. You can get you
Go get
some
it.
t-shirts, keychains, 8x10s, rally towels. You can get a replica jacket, my entrance jacket. You can get a replica of that. You can get hats, beanies, stickers, temporary tattoos. I got it all. I'm trying to get my merch game unlocked. So
Let's do it.
website's in the bio. Go check me out there. Thank you guys for all the support. I hope I gain a couple new fans. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
you will. And if we could make it, let's get KOA together.
Absolutely. That would be fantastic. We actually go on a trip with TNA. We leave Saturday, and then Sunday is Slammiversary, and then we'll be traveling to Albany. So anytime after Sunday, if we can get a morning time interview, we'll be together in person. So that'd be better than trying to get three different phones
Yeah.
all going at the same time.
Yep. Let me know.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, guys. Thank you so much, and y'all have a good day. Stay tuned for Melina up next.
Ooh, I'll
Thank you,
be tuning in
Caine.
for that one. Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you, bro.
Yeah, have a good one.